Researchers are predicting that at least 550 mammal species may become extinct this century. A study published in the journal Science Advances says hundreds could be saved with targeted conservation. Well, I'm joined now by the study's lead researcher, Tobias Andermann, who is the study's lead researcher at the Department of Biological and Environmental Sciences at the University of Gothenburg in Sweden. Welcome to BBC World News. First of all, talk us through how this study was carried out. What was the methodology?
Yeah, hello. Thank you, first of all. The study is based on a very large literature research where we basically went through all published evidence of extinct mammal species specifically. And based on these fossil data, we could see at what time species went extinct in the fossil record. And based on that, we could reconstruct at what pace these extinctions have occurred in the past.
Okay, so we talk about 550 species that could become extinct by the end of this century. What kind of species are we talking about here?
So, yeah, that first of all is a very high number and shockingly high estimate. There are a lot of species at the moment that are critically endangered or very vulnerable to human impact. And all these critically endangered species, which there are hundreds, but some of them, the Sumatran rhino or the Borneo orangutan, they are essentially reduced to almost non-viable population sizes. So instead of our human impact has not manifested itself only in causing extinctions in the past, but many species right now are at the very brink of extinctions. So we have reduced them to very small population sizes, and now are facing probably an accumulation of this extinction debt that will unfold itself in the next decades, most likely.
What do you say to those people listening to you who believe that this is just how nature works, that there have been species that have become extinct over previous centuries, and this is no different? What is your message to them?
Yeah, so we find in our study that almost all mammal species extinctions of the last 130,000 years can be correlated to human impact. So that's a time frame where actually a lot of things happened in Earth history. There has been extreme climate change, for example. There has been the large glaciation, which is often referred to as the last ice age, and then the melting of those glaciers. So large impacts on like global climate. And we see that species normally survive these cycles. They have been around for a long time and have been surviving many of these cycles of extreme temperature fluctuations. So naturally, many species and most species have a very large tolerance for extreme fluctuations in climate. And the only factor that's different this time around is our human presence, which has been driving these extinctions.
And Tobias Andermann, we appreciate your insights there. There is plenty more on this story on BBC News Online.